Enemies to lovers is one of the best relationship arcs in any drama, but it has to be done right, or it just ends up feeling like the characters hate each other, and any possible chemistry between them gets stifled. Today's top 10 Asian dramas are those that did the enemies to lovers trope right, with the correct balance of fighting and romance that makes any drama unforgettable. Without further ado, here's my list of the top 10 enemies to lovers dramas, in my opinion. Number 10. Monstar. At number 10 we have Monstar, a healing drama about a group of teenagers finding comfort and healing in music. Seo-chan is a member of a popular boy band called Men in Black. Problems arise when he pushes a Sasing, one of his crazy fans. A video of him doing so goes viral, harming his image. The agency has no choice but to pull him away from the public eye and ask him to focus on school instead. At school, a new transfer from New Zealand arrives. Sei's talent and foreign behavior attract a lot of attention from her classmates. A misunderstanding occurs between the two when Seo-chan thinks she took a picture of him that she shouldn't have taken. However, they and the rest of their classmates soon learn to connect on the basis of music. Every character in this drama has their own unique backstory, which makes it more complex and a more enjoyable watch. Number 9. Boys Over Flowers. Boys Over Flowers is about a poor girl, Gum Jandi, who receives a scholarship to attend one of the most prestigious schools in the country, attended exclusively by the rich. The F4 are a group of the most powerful and popular boys in the school, and Jandi dislikes them as well as the admiring attitude of her classmates towards them. The leader of the F4, Gu Junpil, decides to bully Jandi, but is thwarted in his attempts when Jandi stands up to him and even kicks him in the face. The drama stars Lee Min-ho in the role of Junpil, which alone is a good reason to watch it. The romance is also good, as is the humor. However, I do have to give a trigger warning for mention of suicide and bullying. For the most part, we get to see Jandi standing up for herself, and Junpil being whipped. Their rivalry has a lot of funnier and endearing aspects to it as well, and they do eventually care about each other. Number 8. Touch Your Heart. Touch Your Heart follows Oh Jin-shin, or Oh Yeon-seo, who is a famous actress known for her good looks. However, her career is at a precarious stage, where she is being accused of not being a good actor. She furthermore finds herself jobless for 2 years, until she gets the chance to play a lead role as a legal assistant in an upcoming drama series. To prove her worth as an actor, she decides to take a job as a legal assistant to truly understand the job. Thus, she becomes the assistant of Kwon Jung-ro, a cold and work-oriented lawyer who does not want her to be his assistant at all, but is being forced to keep her by his boss. Fans of Goblin would be especially excited for this show, since we have the same iconic pairing of Lee Dong-wook and Yoo In-na in this drama as well, where they bring out the same amazing chemistry that they'd already shown before and complement each other perfectly. Number 7. Heartstrings. Heartstrings follows the relationship between two students whose majors oppose each other. Lee Shin is an applied music major, while Lee Gyu-won is a traditional Korean music major. Shin is the vocalist of a popular group called The Stupid, which attracts many fans to him. Problems arise between the two when Shin rejects a confession from a fan in front of Gyu-won, saying that he doesn't date ugly girls. He also insults Gyu-won by saying that she's ugly, and lets her down when he's unable to perform at a fundraiser concert she organizes, despite having promised that he would. All of this boils down to a competition between the two majors, which would lead to the loser being a slave for the winner. The two are at opposite ends of the musical spectrum, which leads them to butt heads often, and their personalities don't seem to match in the beginning. But ultimately, they're both artists and music lovers, which leads to both learning a lot from each other and appreciating each other's art more when they finally leave behind the animosity. I should mention that there is some depiction of an eating disorder with one of the characters, which might be triggering for some. However, if that does not bother you, the drama is humorous and entertaining to watch. Number 6. Full House. Full House follows a struggling scriptwriter, Han Ji-eun, who lives in a house called Full House, built by her late father. She gets tricked by her two best friends, who make her believe she has won a free vacation, and sell her house while she's away. Meanwhile, Jian meets famous actor Lee Young-jae on the plane to China. Both consider the other to be very rude, but Jian ends up having to ask him for help going back home when she finds herself stranded with no way to pay for her hotel bills or return ticket. When she returns, she finds that her house has been sold to him and that she has lost all the money she had, thanks to her friends. Jian has no option but to enter a contractual marriage with Young-jae to make his crush jealous, giving the drama a fake relationship trope as well. Eventually, the two fall in love, of course. The cast for this one has an idol singer, with Rain playing Lee Young-jae. The drama is a bit old because it came out in 2004, and it follows the 4:3 aspect ratio that old television shows used to have. However, the script along with the acting and overall quality is high, and if you're not bothered by the old look, it's a very good drama. Number 5. So I Married an Anti-Fan. The title is self-explanatory for this one. So I Married an Anti-Fan is a romance between a top star Hoojun and his anti-fan Lee Gun-young. The animosity between them fires up when Gun-young, who is a reporter, witnesses Hoojun being violent, and Hoojun thinks she's taken pictures of him with her camera and subsequently breaks it. Gun-young then throws up on him, by accident, and throws her shoe at him, on purpose, which leads to her being fired by her magazine. She believes that Hoojun is behind her losing her job and starts to protest in front of his company. This gets her a lot of news coverage, and eventually she gets approached for a reality show where an idol and their top anti-fan have to spend some time living together like a married couple. This drama is one of the best when it comes to the cast, with the female lead being Soo-young from Girls' Generation, and there's even a cameo by Chansung from 2PM. It's also fun to watch. The romance should give you butterflies, what with Hoojun constantly trying to hold Gun-young's hand, the kisses, and running through the rain. Their chemistry with each other leaves a fluttering feeling in your stomach. Number 4. Marriage, Not Dating. In Marriage, Not Dating, our two leads meet when the female lead Jangmi's boyfriend Hongdung wants to break up with her because she has started to think about marriage. Male lead Gi-tae helps his friend Hongdung by interrupting the couple's date and disrupting the preparations Jangmi has made for the proposal. Later, Hongdung ghosts Jangmi instead of breaking up with her properly, and Gi-tae, who is Hongdung's only friend that Jangmi is able to find, suggests that Jangmi was only with him for his money. This leads to Jangmi pouring a drink over him, and eventually even hitting him by a bottle when she's aiming for Hongdung. Meanwhile, Gi-tae's mom misunderstands and thinks that Jangmi and Gi-tae are in a relationship. This one is a mixture of enemies to lovers and a fake relationship, because the two pretend to be marrying to make Gi-tae's mom decide not to make Gi-tae marry Jangmi or any other woman, and to allow Gi-tae to be able to live alone. It can get a bit difficult to watch for people who don't approve of some cultural traditions in marriage. For example, you might oppose the importance given to a mother-in-law's approval of her daughter-in-law, or a cheating husband whose wife puts up with him for her child and even covers for him. These things might not be very enjoyable for some viewers, but overall the humor is good, and I can promise that all of the characters get their happy ending. Number 3. A Korean Odyssey. A Korean Odyssey is a fantasy drama that follows Jin Seonmi and Sun Oh-gong. Seonmi could always see ghosts and spirits as a child, and was therefore ostracized by her family and peers, with her grandmother being the only person who truly cared about her. One day, Oh-gong's rival Ma-won witnesses a ghost following Seonmi and rescues her. In exchange, he asks her to retrieve a fan from a house. However, this was the house where Oh-gong had been trapped as a punishment for his sins. Upon meeting her, Oh-gong convinces Seonmi to set him free, with a promise to protect her every time she calls his name. Seonmi agrees, but Oh-gong erases his name from her memory once he is set free, preventing her from ever being able to call his name. They meet again at a busy intersection when Sonmi is an adult, where she confronts him about what he did and tearfully asks why she ever bothered having faith in him. Meanwhile, Ogung discovers that eating Sonmi's flesh would reinstate his immortality, which he cannot do because of his promise to protect her. Their relationship is complicated by both their past and by the fact that Ogung has to gain Sonmi's trust in order to gain immortality. Ogung's selfishness and Sonmi's betrayal make them one of the most complex enemies to lovers arcs in K-drama. Number 1. I'm Not a Robot. At number 1 on the list is I'm Not a Robot, a 2017 drama about a rich and successful chairman, Kim Min-gyu, who has an allergy to human contact, and a struggling entrepreneur, Jo Jia, who pretends to be a robot for money. The robot is called Aji 3 and was modeled after Jia by her ex-boyfriend, Hong Baek-gyun. Due to a malfunction in the actual robot, Jia was hired to pretend to be a robot in front of Mingyu, giving Baek-gyun's team more time to fix the actual robot and replace her. But Jia quickly becomes the only person Mingyu has any contact with, and he ends up falling in love with her. In their first interaction, Jia provides Mingyu with a limited edition figure, but the packaging gets slightly damaged, which leads to both of them feeling that they were scammed by the other person. The two fight a lot, until Jia unwittingly becomes Aji 3 and has no choice but to spend time with Mingyu. That was all 10 of the top enemies to lovers K-dramas. If there are any dramas that you feel should have been in this list, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe.